You are listening to Mondays in the Mix, bringing you the best in the hottest club mixes and remixes of the week, with your host, Will Jackson.
Thank you so much for joining us today for another Mondays in the Mix. Of course, you're coming here live from Germany. Kaiserslautern, Germany, that is. We're here at the Factory Studios. We're going to go ahead and get right into today's show. We got some good news for a change. On the heels of the BET Awards last night, I don't know what really to say about that, but it was interesting. It was very interesting. I guess for the terrible sound system that they provided for the audience and also the television audience and the live performances, but the audio was terrible for some reason. I don't know. I guess at this point, you really can't, or at least I really don't expect much. But one thing for sure, shout out to Tyler Perry, who purchased the BET network. So maybe he might turn it around and do something very, very positive with that station. But as I said, we got some good news. Of course, coming from Dr. Dre. First, I would like to congratulate Dr. Dre for his Hip Hop Icon Award. Of course, Snoop Dogg presented him the ASCAP 2023 Rhythm and Soul Music Award. And of course, it's well deserving for Dr. Dre because he's been in the business over 30 years, close to 35, a little over 35 years actually. But he's been in the music business doing his production, and he is definitely an icon in the genre of hip hop. But as it says that one of the hip hop icons paid tribute. Of course, we're talking about Snoop Dogg. He presented the inaugural ASCAP Hip Hop Icon Award. Of course, this is a private party on the rooftop of the London West Hollywood. And that was on Thursday, this past Thursday. The presentation was a highlight of ASCAP 2023 Rhythm and Soul Music Award. And again, that goes to Dr. Dre. And that's wonderful that he has been acknowledged for some of the great things he's done with music. Not only with hip-hop, but music in general. But, as I said, we like to acknowledge. Of course, that's well-deserved for Dr. Dre. And, of course, we'll be coming in also on the BET Awards that Busta Rhymes, another one of my favorite hip-hop artists. Of course, I followed his career since leader of the New Schools, and that was going back the late 80s. And again, Busta Rhymes has been in the music industry for over 35 years. 30 years. A little over 30 years, I would say. But again, it says he received last night Lifetime Achievement Award. Of course, again, that's well deserved for Busta Rhymes because not only has he been his lyrical content, his creativity and his lyrical content, but also his energy, his performance in concerts has always been top notch. And it's good that he's been recognized for that. And of course, on the BET Awards ceremony, it got really emotional, which is understandable because as an artist, you know, a lot of people don't really expect to be acknowledged for what they do. They just do what they do because they love the craft and the gift that they have. They present it to the world, present it to the people. And you know, after a period of time, you just don't think about it. You don't really care about any awards being acknowledged. You just do what you love doing. And it's great that he was acknowledged for, you know, giving his craft to the world. Not only to, you know, to the hip hop heads or the people who love the genre of hip hop, but to the world. And Busta Rhymes, of course, is worldly known. And again, that is something really great to acknowledge. Speaking of Busta Rhymes, he has a new track out. We're going to get to that later because it's very interesting. It's a little different, and as far as my taste of music is what normal Busta Rhymes and his production and his music, but this is a little bit different than what he normally does, which is understandable because I guess there's a different atmosphere in the hip hop community or the hip hop genre. The arena has changed as far as music and lyrical content. But in other news, of course, also during the BET award ceremony last night, the best part of the show, in my opinion, of course, is when Quavo and Offset of the Migos finally came back together. It was something really nice to actually see because, of course, since the untimely death of Takeoff, actually before the untimely death of Takeoff that happened in Houston, Texas, what was it, last year? I believe it was last year, maybe a year and a half ago, that Quavo and Offset, they had a falling out. Of course, Offset kind of split from the group, and he was pretty much silent. And of course, that's when Offset, I was thinking about doing more of his own solo. He still is, as my understanding. He still is pursuing his own solo career. But, of course, Quavo and Takeoff became more or less, they carried on the Migos, the music and the persona of that group. And again, as I said, with the untimely death of Takeoff, Quavo was pretty much silent and grieving, of course, which is understandable. But again, last night they performed together on stage one of the tracks that they did as a group. and that was Bad and Bougie. And of course, Hotel Lobby was very, very interesting because this one was, I don't know, it was kind of it was a moment, I would say. It was a really, really sad moment because they the way that the stage performance was, they had one single spotlight in the middle that came down, of course, where Takeoff would have been standing, and then you had Quavo and Offset on either side, and they were singing Hotel Lobby. And that was I would say that was one of the greatest moments of the BET Awards, in my opinion. Alongside, of course, Busta Rhymes, but everything else, as far as everything else is concerning, it was it wasn't in my opinion, it wasn't really worth watching, so I really didn't pay that much attention. I was only interested in really seeing the award being presented by Swizz Beatz to Busta Rhymes. So that was one of the reasons why I watched it. But in other news, we have, of course, Young Thug has some new music coming out. Actually, it's already been released. And of course, I have a track of his from his new release. We'll get to that later. And this is just in, actually. Wow. This has been all over the internet. We have the situation of the gentleman named Jeremy Brown. Of course, this happened, I believe it was in New York. Yeah, I think it was in New York. But this is another story that's been all over the internet. It's not really music related, but like I said, this is just it's an update. But the prosecutors have dropped all charges against Kalisha Hood and her 14-year-old son in the shooting death of 32-year-old Jeremy Brown. Of course, Jeremy Brown, what happened, which really no one knows because it's only half of a video that's been posted and has been circulating on all social media platforms. But in the video, Jeremy Brown attacked the woman, which is Kalisha Hood. Attacked her. They were arguing over, I don't know what they were really arguing about, but he assaulted the woman. Jeremy Brown assaulted the woman, and her son, which was outside, who so happened to have a gun on him, came in and shot and killed Jeremy Brown for assaulting his mother. And of course, there's a controversy on the internet, on different social media sites. It's kind of split down the half that well, no, not really. A lot of people were saying that what Jeremy Brown, he got what he deserved for putting his hands on a woman. But of course, at first, they were, the son and the mother was booked and charged with murder, and of course their bail was set at something like $500,000, 500,000 or close to $1 million. Their bail was set, and again, the prosecutors, I guess, decided to drop it because, of course, that was really outrageous. A lot of people were saying that, of course, well, that was self-defense. And yes, it was self-defense, but of course this is happening in not New York, it was Chicago. It happened in Chicago, and of course, with Chicago not being a stand your ground city, that when something like that happened, you can't retaliate and kill someone and not be prosecuted. So I don't know. I don't want to say that that's good news, but it's sad that someone lost their life for something stupid. But of course, that's what you have. I don't know. But that's how Chicago is. Another thing in the news, of course, we're gonna switch gears. This is comical at best. Kim Kardashian regrets letting North West, her child, her daughter, post TikTok videos with Ice Spice. And of course, we had a debate going on again on different social media platforms. And I think this happened over the winter, that Kanye West was very upset that he came to understand that his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, allowed North West to have a TikTok account. And he was saying, of course, he didn't like that his daughter had an account on TikTok because of that particular social media platform. And he was saying that he wanted his daughter off that app. But of course, Kim Kardashian was saying that it wasn't nothing wrong with it. She's monitoring. And then to make matters worse, there was a video posted with Ice Spice. Ice Spice being an adult hip hop artist, raunchy hip hop artist, I would say. Not only with the music or the words or the lyrics that she sing, but also the dancing that she does. It's very adult, X-rated adult content. And of course, Kanye West was, for lack of better words, very upset, and he was expressing his disdain on why Kim Kardashian was allowing their daughter to hang out with Ice Spice, making videos on TikTok. And of course, Kim Kardashian later came to regret letting her daughter North West post TikTok videos while she dressed up as rapper Ice Spice. And it says here, every day the kids go to switch of whose music they want to plug in and listen to. On the way to school, North was listening to Ice Spice, said Kim in a new interview with the Time magazine, focusing on her shapewear brand Skims. Okay, well, she was talking about that, but basically what it was saying is that she regretted because she actually had a chance to listen to some of Ice Spice music and realized that, I made a mistake, that maybe it wasn't a good idea for her daughter to be hanging out with with Ice Spice. Again, like I said, I find that very, very interesting, but hey, it is what it is. No one has ever really listened to Kanye West and what he has to say. Everybody's pretty much writing him off as being crazy, so that's a point for Kanye West. Of course.
Bars.
Coming into
It's time for the week's hottest dance tracks.
favorite time of the day, of course. We're going to get to the hottest tracks of the week. We have coming up, actually, as we were saying, Busta Rhymes came out with a new track. The name of this track is called Beach Ball. called I don't know. It's featuring Bia, B-I-A, Bia. I'm gonna get to that and see how that sounds.
Cartier friends with the Gucci flip flops. Blowing money fast, man. I'ma be Rick Ross.
Tell the hoe to kick rocks. Bitch, ride a boat like it's a seesaw. Chicken bags in your pussy, girl, for your deep part. Yeah. Dolce and Gabbana spoil him and Neiman Marcus. Bitch, put her top down, why you keep coughing? Put her in the ocean, bet she suck a beach ball. Hoes moving up and down, seesaw. Give me back shots, now it's back to DR. Fly you out to PR, can't put you in no Dior. Look into my eyes, you could tell I want a D-boy. Popping willies on the dicky, thinking I'm from B-more. We should've been friends, but I know you wanna be more. Touch my first M, niggas know I gotta see more. Seen that nigga in my ends, and you know I had a detour. Flew in first class just to sit out by the seashore. You can't fuck me in no G4.
Cartier friends with the Gucci flip flops. Blowing money fast, man. I'ma be Rick Ross.
Look, see, I inflated the plot ever since the day of crack sales. I upgraded the block, nigga. Yeah. Louis and that Gucci make a bug and Bergdorf and drag me to a dressing room and give me top until she coughing. Water falling, sucking on these beach balls, and all these bitches walking around me talking about I miss y'all. Never kiss them, but I always hit them back to DR. Shorty, yes, I see y'all. Who the fuck you thinking we are? Think you about to come up, see them thoughts you better ignore. Fuck you, think you fooling, trying to come off like a sweetheart. Think we more than homies, use a motherfucker. Fuck these records up in ways you've never seen it before. Busting everybody ass on records when I record it. Light shining, nigga looking at me like she got it. Make sure you're in your shit when we start.
Cartier friends with the Gucci flip flops. Blowing money fast, man. I'ma be Rick Ross.
Tell the hoe to kick rocks. Bitch, ride a boat like it's a
Again, that is a new one by Busta Rhymes featuring Bia.
Yeah.
It's called Beach Ball.
Me and that Gucci make a bug and Bergdorf and drag me to a dressing room and give me top until she coughing. Water falling, sucking on these beach balls, and all these bitches walking around me talking about I miss y'all.
Give me back shots, now it's back to DR.
Again, that is Busta Rhymes featuring Bia. Name of that track is called Beach Ball. I don't know. Again, as I said, it's not something that is high energy like most of Busta Rhymes tracks are, but that is his new track. And again, I'm guessing that because of the fact that he is pretty much continuing on in the culture of hip hop, that he's bringing along a lot of the younger artists that is coming up behind some of the older acts that have been around for quite some time. So I can only say that maybe that's why a lot of his musical production has started to change. But again, that is something new. And I listened to it a couple of times before I was like, okay, I guess I'm feeling it, but I'm. We're gonna bring in Young Thug. Of course, Young Thug has dropped his new album, 15 tracks. Name of the album is called Business is Business. Of course, one of the best tracks, in my opinion, on that, the 15, like I said, those 15 tracks, 15 track production, has a lot of great features. You have Future, you have Drake, 21 Savage, Travis Scott. But I don't know, all the 15 tracks, all the new 15 tracks that is on this album, my favorite one that I can honestly say that is a club banger, name of this one is called Money on the Dresser. I like it.
Bitch asked me for fame and I said no. This bitch asked me for fame and I said no. I bought a rose gold rolling for the show. 20 car keys in it, money more.
Diamond is from the new one by Young Thug. Money on the dresser.
$100,000 to the bitch in the middle.
Speaking of club bangers, we got one more. This is coming from Will Clark. About to take y'all to church on this one. The name of this track is called The Hymn. For all you house heads out there, this is a new one by Will Clark. The name of this one is called The Hymn. Thank you so much for joining us once again to another fabulous Monday in the Mix. I am your host, Will Jackson. Look forward to being with you again next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful start of the week. Production-wise, keep the vibes positive. Have a safe and wonderful week. We'll be with you again next week, next Monday, same time, same station. Be safe.